What is up, everybody? Meriden Gaming here, and we're back for another World of Tanks Tech Tree Tanks Showcase and Review. Today we're taking a look at the Tier 7 American Heavy Tank from the newest line, the Yo line, the M2Y. Now, this one's a little bit different than the original line of heavy tanks for the Americans. This one it's looking much more like those typical Yo tanks. It's got this kind of rounded, smaller turret, which allows you to bounce a lot of shells, even though it doesn't have great armor straight on. Because you can see it's only 99, 122, 133. The angle of it coming from the front, yeah, 245. This is actually better than some of the tier 10 heavy tanks. And then in the front, as long as you're angled straight on, you've got decent armor. Stuff can pin you, but it's an American heavy tank. You know what this thing is designed for. It's designed to be on top of a ridge. Now, the two major weak points for this, if you're fighting it, or if you're trying to hide them, is this gun port right here. That's not that great. And this big old cupola on top. I mean, look at that thing. It's the same size as like the M103. Yeah. Let's go ahead and take a look at the actual armor model. So yeah, as you can see, anywhere on the side, horrible. Back, horrible. But the front, it's decent. You'd have to have closer to like 240 to go through it, except if you can aim here. But I don't see a lot of people actually aiming at this point. For some reason, they tend to, I guess they don't know. Like me, I come and look at every new tank that comes out and try to figure out where are going to be the spots I can hit it. I usually go to the compare and put in whatever tank I use the most, just so I can kind of get a good idea of where to go through this thing. And of course, the front lower plate, very not great. So you're not going to be able to go, or you'll be able to go through that pretty well. This port, and then of course the big old cupola. Down the side, you can side scrape pretty well. Just make sure you're side scraping this direction, where you have the building here, because you don't want to expose that spot. But there are some weird little angles on this thing, on both sides, where they can go through there, and then the turret ring. So you do have to be careful and not sit out there and sit still very long. You will get penetrated because of that. And then, of course, your cupola on top, you're not going to be able to hide that. What this thing is really designed for is sitting up on a ridge and shooting down at stuff. Because, yeah, 10 degrees gun depression. Let's go ahead and take a look over at the compare. Alright, so yeah, DPM, not great. Actually has less DPM than the Black Prince, and we all know the Black Prince is horrible DPM. That's mainly due to the fact that it only has 240 alpha, which is, better than the Black Prince, but lower than everything else. And then the reload time, it's kind of in the middle at 8.4. Not as bad as the IS and T29, but not as good as the Tiger and the Black Prince. But penetration, that's where this thing kind of shines. You got the 202 penetration, 242 with the gold rounds, but still 240 damage. So you will be able to compete with the tier 8s and the tier 9s as long as you place your shots well. And your armor also helps you fight against those higher tier tanks. You do only have a 90 caliber gun, so you will not be able to overmatch pretty much anything if you're fighting other heavies. So yeah, that's one downside. Ammo capacity, 60, so you can take a little bit of everything. So that's a really good thing, as opposed to something like the IS, which it always seems like I was running out of ammo, or getting close to it, or the different types. But yeah, overall, it's okay potential damage-wise because of how much ammo it has, but you definitely have to pick your shots and place your shots well. Downside to that, doesn't have the greatest dispersion. Definitely have to work on that. Aim time, also not great, but this is kind of a brawler anyway, so it's not as big of a deal. But you definitely want to try to at least aim in a little bit to get the best potential out of this. Next thing we got is gun depression. Yep, it's an American heavy tank, so of course it has 10 degrees of gun depression. One good thing is it has 20 degrees of elevation as well, which is higher than the T29. T29 armor, this thing, gun elevation, gun depression, to make use of the slightly less armor. Forward speed, 40. So this is a pretty fast heavy tank. Not as fast as like the 277, but pretty fast. And the best reverse speed for all of these. That being said, it also has, because of the terrain resistances, it has the best, what do they call it, effective speed out of everything pretty much, other than the IS has slightly better on soft. Then we get down to armor. This is where this thing shines, of course. It actually has better armor in the hull than the T-29, but the turret is a little bit less, but it's still very manageable as long as you don't sit in one spot. This is one of those tanks where you don't want to actually, I mean, you can come straight up the top of a ridge and shoot stuff, but you're going to get hit in your cupola. Uh, what you actually really want to do is find a spot to where you can kind of go sideways a little bit as you're going up and down the ridge, um, and not exposing your hull to make it much harder to hit that cupola. And then we get down to view range, 370. Yeah, not great, not bad. You won't be spotting for yourself. If we throw on a couple of the skills, we might be able to make a difference. Okay, so camouflage course, brothers in arms. Let's see, what else are we going to want? Uh, recon, situational awareness. We're going to want snapshots and smooth ride. Those are going to be the main ones we want. You can also put in there the off-road driving, because that will allow you to make use of your mobility even more. This one can relocate somewhat. So that gets us down to 38 gun dispersion, a little bit better aim time, and then the view right around 400. That's not great, but towards the end of the battle, you can work with it, especially with your armor. You'll be able to spot if your lights and your mediums are dead. You can definitely use that to spot those TDs as long as you make good use of your armor. So let's go ahead and get over to the actual replay. Alright, so we're going to be watching Stomper in W of the WHC clan on Fisherman's Bay. Let's go ahead and start it up. See, he's facing an IS, and Oni, and 2 Tiger 1s, and a Pollack. That was the other one I didn't put on here, was the Oni as a comparison, because honestly, I really don't see them all that much. It's kind of fallen out of favor. You might see one every 4 or 5 games at this tier. For people that want something that's super over armored, but I honestly don't see them a whole lot. This guy's just pushing them around. Trying to get a shot at that 105. Oh, took a blind fire, didn't quite hit it. Or not a blind fire, snapshot, I guess you would say. Oh, he's getting hit by the poodle. Oh, yep, they've got too many people in one spot. And now he's been ammo racked. Not great. Yeah, definitely got to repair that. Yeah, they stood too long on the outside there. Probably gonna blind fire that bush because there tends to be people there. There they are. And he missed that shot. He's trying to fire over the top of the IS. So he had a very narrow window there. Oh, nice. Penetration. So 270 damage, so he did get a little bit of a high roll there. Yeah, good. See, that's what I don't like, is he is poking out with, let's see, that was a miss. He needs to be side scraping. I mean, this thing has decent armor, but it's not the greatest. I'll try to push up and catch somebody there. Problem's going to be, oh, well, that IS is the one that he was. As soon as he gets shot, he's going to move back. Yeah, the IS was the one that was at the bush at the church. So what spotted him? That's the question. Take a look up there. Yep, just roll on through. This is a good thing. He's following his IS. Hopefully his buddies in the back are following. It looks like the KV2 is as well. Oh, there's the O&E. You got to be careful of those, because that could be running. I believe that's the one that has the derp gun. I'm not too familiar with all the Japanese heavies. Oh, one more time. You should be able to get him before he reloads. Hit the track wheel and get him stuck. Nope, didn't reload quite in time. But yeah, look at that. That penetration allows him to go through the side of that Oni, even without the best angle. He's trying to get that track wheel, it looks like. He's trying to get his armor angled. Oh, try to get a snapshot. That's the thing. This thing is not going to have the best ability to snapshot stuff. He's trying to see if he can find an angle to hit. You can see he's kind of angling himself in order to. The Oni backs up again. Nope. Waited too long. Now you can get him. And then the Oni moves. Of course. Time to deal with this Tiger 1 here. He's going to go through that all day long. This thing does not have the best armor. Of course, he hits him in the lower plate. But he should be able to go right through the turret. There was a spot there somewhere. There you go. Nicely done. So that's his first kill. I'm surprised. I thought he'd do a little bit, get a few more kills quicker. Guess they're just going to ignore the Pollack behind them. Oh, nope. Now he notices the Pollack. But someone needs to deal with that so he doesn't sneak up and kill his medium. Now the Pollack has some kind of strange trollish armor. Okay, thankfully the medium noticed the Pollack and was able to move out of the way. Catch him from behind. Yes. Nicely done. Nicely done. And the IS got the kill. Okay. So now what's he going to do? So 1500 damage. Not too bad. Did quite a bit to that Tiger and the Oni, it looks like. Because that Oni over-angled himself and got caught a couple of times. Ooh, is he going to be able to finish off this guy? Oh, nice little snapshot there. So you can kind of snapshot, but it's not, you're not going to hit every shot. And now they're trying to deal with the stuff up here. The problem is they're still going to have some TDs in the back somewhere. So he's got to be careful moving across like this, because they could be back in those trees. But it looked like those trees hadn't been knocked down, so that may not be the case. Now those ones over to the far left, those bushes there, that's where the TDs tend to sit in the defensive position. So he's trying to use the buildings so he doesn't get shot in the side. And the other guy that was up here was already killed, so it's pretty much up to him to spot. Just like I was saying, you can use this to spot in the late game. Just because you do have the armor, as long as you have a decent view range. Oh, yep, see now he spotted something. Can he get it? Oh, he tracked him. He doesn't really want to push out again. There was something over there to his right. Nicely done. There's another kill. But he did take a hit there. Yeah, now he's got to kind of protect himself here. Thankfully, the Super Hellcat helped do. Oh, there's the other medium. Except he's not looking at him, thankfully. There's one shot. Now it's going to turn. You're sticking your nose out there too much. You need to reposition and side scrape, but you got lucky and the guy missed. Because the side of this has no armor. Well, from direct side, and then the lower plate from that angle would have, he could have been taken out pretty quickly. He's got to wait until he's not spotted. Let's see about moving out again. Think he's going to blind fire here? No idea if he hit anything though. That's going to be the fun part, is trying to move on those 2 or 3 final tanks, because there's one that hadn't been spotted yet. I think it's the Hellcat. I know it's the Tiger 1. One of the Tiger 1s has not been spotted. That is odd. There's the Tiger 1. He's in a sniping position. There you go. So he aimed in a little bit. He is getting a few more of those snapshots than I would expect. Question is, where's that SU? Because that SU can one-shot him now, I think. There's another one of his allies. Moving across this open ground with the TD that could be on that hill with those trees is not the best idea. Actually, he may be low enough to where it's just his turret that's is visible. Trying to get that IS and the VK to move up. I don't know if the AT7 maybe... No, that's not a standard spawn point. When I say I was wondering if he's AFK, he may not be. He may just be protecting the... Oh, he's spotted by something. Question is, what was it and where is it at? Moving to get on this hill. Oh, there's the... Oh, see? Good bounce there because he can look over the top of this little hill and only his turret is visible. But the tiger is trying to hit his cupola, I'm sure. So he can't sit here. Yeah, tried to hit his cupola again. You can see at the angle it came across that he was aiming for that cupola. So there's 3 kills. Oh, here comes the ISU. Oh, and the ISU missed. So this guy is dead. He just has to work his way around the side. Yeah, you can't really default aim at these guys. And it looks like the SU is just like, yeah, I'm dead. I might as well just sit here. And there we go. 4 kills, 350 or 3,500 damage and 1,600 spotting. Let's go ahead and pause it right there and go over to, if my mouse will work, oh, I have to hit escape. Let's go ahead and go back over to the stat screen. All right, so, yep, didn't get that blind shot in. Almost 3,600 damage, 4 kills, 7 whatever critical hits, and then 1,800 spotting. So I guess he got a little bit more. He must have tracked something and it was killed after he wasn't seeing it or something. But yeah, not too bad, and almost 1,000 block damage, so that's pretty good. Ace Tanker, Hand of God, because he bounced a shell. Or no, that's yeah, after receiving damage from 4 enemy vehicles. And then the high caliber for the team. So that means he did quite a bit more than everyone else. Now, this was not a high damage game at all. It was pretty well spread out across multiple players, so definitely pretty good. And let's see, did he end up making money? It did, but mainly because, no, he would have made money either way. So definitely can make some money with this thing. Anyway, that's going to be it. I hope y'all enjoyed this video. If there's a specific tank you want to see next, just leave it in the comments of the most current tank review, because I am going down all the different lines. I started off with the lights from the Americans, then went mediums, now we're doing heavies, then we'll do TDs. We're going to skip the artillery unless y'all want to see those. I can do videos on those as well. And then we'll just move our way down the line. I think German is next, then Russian, then UK, France, something. I don't know. I can't keep track of them all. But anyway, this is Murray Gaming. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And yeah, I'll see you on the battlefield.